Let's go to the gentleman here in the front row.
Hundreds of Ahmadi Muslims in Pakistan have been killed simply on grounds of faith, whether it's in their mosques, their homes, or places of business. How can Pakistan inculcate a culture of tolerance when your own constitution and laws explicitly target Ahmadi Muslims, making it a crime punishable by 3 years imprisonment or by death under the blasphemy laws for an Ahmadi to call themselves a Muslim? Isn't it time Pakistan repealed these laws and ended its state-sponsored persecution of Ahmadis?
Okay, I'm embarrassed to be a Pakistani when I remember the fact that the white in our flag represents the right of minorities, and Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, even before August 1947, said that you are allowed to go to your mosque, you're allowed to go to... It is not the business of state, he said, to question your religion. I'm embarrassed that we've done to minorities what we've done in Pakistan. I will accept it.
So just to be clear, in terms of policy levels, things like a Pakistani goes to get a passport and has to declare that Ahmadi is a non-Muslim, that's an outrage, is it not?
I think that is completely unrequired. That's my personal view.
Okay, let's go back to the audience. Gentleman here in the second row with the glasses.
Hi, I'm David from Index on Censorship. The Pakistani Supreme Court's recently called for reform of the blasphemy laws. We welcome this first step, given the way in which the law is used disproportionately against non-Muslims, abused to fulfill personal vendettas, and in a way that encourages extrajudicial punishments, including killings. But isn't it about time that Pakistan altogether abolished a law that is both counterproductive and wholly inconsistent with the basic rights of free expression, freedom of religion, liberty of conscience?
Okay, can I correct your facts before I respond to that? It is not disproportionately bent towards minorities, and I'll give you a simple fact. Apparently, in a period of 2 years, and this is when I was in government, so this is like two years back, there were about 300 cases under the blasphemy law which were put there. Out of that, there were 9 or 10 which were against minorities, and the rest of them were apparently against Muslims. And there's not a single person within Pakistan who has been punished under blasphemy law. Okay? So the blasphemy, I'm not going to try and justify blasphemy law.
But your colleagues were murdered.
Sorry?
Your colleagues were murdered.
Yes.
Salman Taseer and Shahbaz Bhatti were both assassinated.
They were quote-unquote punished.
And your government did nothing.
Yes. At that time, our government believed that that was not the time to propagate this issue further because we could not get any results.
So what happened to the memory of them?
I'm just telling you, I feel that in this year, in 2015, the Supreme Court judgment on that particular issue, it basically vindicates the stance that we took.
Why didn't you change the law?
During Musharraf's regime, during Musharraf's time, there was a real effort to try and change the law. There was huge resistance against it, okay? And they tanked. We tanked, right? That's, again, a reality. We need to get Pakistan out of this atmosphere of extremist thought and people fighting each other, create the circumstances, and I think this will be a natural step that Pakistan will take.
I want to go back to the audience, but very quickly. A genuine question. Was it because you feared for your life? A lot of politicians saw what happened to Salman Taseer, said, I'm not going down that road.
I think at that time, it wasn't fearing for your life as much as...
High-profile people were being killed.
No, I'm talking about the Musharraf time.
I'm talking about Salman Taseer.
At that time, people were scared for their lives. People were being killed right, left and center. Everybody was scared for their lives.
Okay, I'm going to have to go back to the audience. We need to get some more audience questions back in.